All right, welcome back everybody to the Minecraft Glitchless and interesting things. Oh, we got the high coming out from Giyo. Very nice. Very nice block art in the end there. But yeah, as I was saying, the Pvs in Minecraft, versus other games don't really always tell the skill level quite as much. There's so much RNG in terms of what seeds you load into that, some players will have a really good, skill in most areas of the game, but they just haven't got that seed yet, haven't been able to hold out the pressure when they finally do get the seed, but hopefully we see these players loading up the seed soon. Okay, there we go. Here we go. I'm just eager. I'm ready to go. Minecraft, I've been enjoying it a lot. I didn't really watch a lot of Minecraft speedruns for this tournament. Watched a little bit. I used to watch Dylqn a little bit when he first started speedrunning Minecraft, just because I'm an SM64 boy, so gotta support the OGs. But definitely been enjoying it. Been running the game a little bit. Do you run the game much, CG?
Yeah, I have been running the game. Well, I've been playing the game for 7, 8 years, but speedrunning has only been like these last couple of years. I've been watching speedrunning for a long time. Illumina was the first speedrun I've ever watched. It was a 2015 tournament, and he won it, and I was like, damn, this is really cool. So that's how I got into speedrunning.
Yeah, Minecraft speedrunning is one of those things where like you hear about it the first time and you're like, wow, speedrunning Minecraft, like, that sounds weird, and think about all the RNG, but like, I don't know, the RNG element, a lot of speedrunners of other games will really complain about RNG and like everything, like even the littlest things, like in Mario, people complain about coin RNG, which is so insignificant, but I think it can be cool. I think it can be a really cool aspect.
I think in any speedrun game, when there's that little randomness that can affect your run, there'll be some kind of complaint on the other side. It's just how speedrunning is. Most players have paused their world and they're using the pause section that gives you the wider FOV, the plane spawn. So if I were to predict, and if I was a runner in this tournament, I'd probably be predicting that it's a village or a structureless seed. That's my prediction. I'm not really expecting to go to the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, I got a little bit of a cheater view on my screen because I have them like full screen, but we do have a village on Giyo's screen. Actually, that's on Dylqn's screen, but both of them could be heading straight there. Village, of course, giving you a lot of resources early on. You got the cobblestone, you got the wood. Iron Golem always going to spawn here, so we'll see what they manage to grab.
This village is one of my favorites because you can actually have tons of wood in a chest, just like what Giyo had just found. About 10 logs actually in a chest. The only problem about these type of villages is that there aren't hay bales, so the food source might be an issue later on the run. But food is usually not really a big of a deal for the top runners.
Yeah,
Blacksmith contains iron pick and 6 obby, 6 iron, so you don't need to kill the golem. It's pretty advantageous.
yeah, that's a pretty sick blacksmith. Sometimes you pull in there and there's not much to grab, but an iron pick, so that's one of the requirements to beat the game. Got to get that gold. Of course, the obby, very useful as well.
Other features in this village is that you can have hay bales in under these campfires, and you can also have armor stands. And on your left, you see that Giyo, he picked up the armor, and so he's pretty decked out with a chest plate and a helmet. And Dylqn, he was mining hay bales under campfires, so he's pretty set out with food the rest of the run.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about food quite a bit. I don't know if you were watching yesterday or anybody in the chat was here, but we had a couple of low health warriors doing doing fortresses on half hearts, and that was a little bit hard to watch. But I mean, you can make it through the Nether with barely any life. It's kind of crazy just how, efficient these top level runners are with very little resources.
Yeah, they'll use all the resources they can to their ability. Foodless runs is very common nowadays because you can easily hunger reset either in the Nether or in the overworld with materials found in the Bastion. and you can replenish your health as many times as you want, essentially. So looks like the lava pool isn't really visible from spawn. Tiger forests, they usually have pretty tall trees, so you can't really tell where the lava pool will be, and I expect runners maybe go down a crevasse or the ocean.
Yeah,
Dylqn is going down this crevasse.
there's always like a point where you just gotta call it on searching for the lava pool. Like, you never really know if it does exist. I mean, there's an ocean nearby, I believe, so I mean, there could be a ravine out there. You're saying a magma ravine where they could potentially build a portal in, but at some point you just gotta bite the bullet and head down, and we've seen players almost instantly dig down in this tournament and usually find it, but it looks like Dylqn's found a lava pool.
Yeah, the lava pool is pretty hard to see. I think it's more on the coast side, so I'm in fear of that Giyo did not go the right way or what the seed finders intended to do, while Dylqn happened to find it. But that's just the name of the game, and Dylqn's now in the nether, spawning on a fortress. Doesn't have all the food he has in the world, can still play fortress first, but another point to bring out is that he didn't pick up the armor. So it looks like he is doing fortress first because he just crafted a shield. Fortress first, in theory, is probably the play here, because well, it depends. There's a huge argument, but I'm pretty sure he E-raided the Bastion and he didn't go to it. There's a huge argument whether Fortress first or Bastion first is the play. I would say for this situation, Fortress first is probably faster. And thankfully, Giyo managed to mine down and find lava in a cave. He's not put in a dilemma of strip mining for lava. He's not wasting too much time. He might even get a more favorable spawn because his lava pool is pretty far away from the one that Dylqn went through.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Oh, it looks like we're gonna spawn under. Oh no, okay, we're right next to the fortress. Good. Like for a second, like we might just be blocked in by netherrack, but luckily right next to the fortress as well, so it shouldn't be too different on either side at this point. I like Dylqn crafting the shield. We've seen some players, either by choice or by force, not grabbing that shield and having a bit of trouble with that lava here.
Yeah, he did make a bit of a mess. He was trying to block it off, and instead he made the problem even worse. No fire res, something that's concerned. The wood can definitely burn. Wood can light, so I definitely wouldn't use the wood to block off the lava. But Giyo has found the other spawner, and this one looks much better than the other one. It's closed. He's also doing Fortress first. He has armor, and he's Blaze Beden as well, so that'll give him better rates, while the lava in Dylqn spawner is blocking all the spawning space, especially with all the blocks he just placed. So, even though Dylqn was in a slight of a lead when he first entered the nether, Giyo might be in a lead going into the Bastion.
Yeah, it's hard to say who exactly is in the lead at this point. Can't really tell if Giyo has many blaze rods in his inventory, but we'll have to see. The rates can be a little bit Monka-esque, but they should be even for both players. Okay,
and Dylqn has managed
yeah.
He managed to do his blaze bed, but then he now has opened up the lava. Because I don't actually think that's the cause of the blaze bed. I think it's because the wood burned, which was the risk of using wood to block off lava. And I think more and more of those planks will probably burn up, and more of the spawning space will be filled up by lava. So Giyo finding the better spawner is definitely an advantage in this split. Yeah, so the wood is keep burning, like I did predict, and more of those planks will keep on burning, and it's just not in a good situation for Dylqn right now.
Oh no,
he does have 2 rods, and
that's a reset. That's no way he
fortunately,
here. Oh no.
So yeah, probably would have to reset that seed. That's very unfortunate. Did put himself in a lot of risk by using planks to block off lava, which might not have been ideal. But his spawner was not an easy situation at all.
Yeah, definitely a rough spot if you are a Dylqn supporter. Speaking of supporters, a little bit late, but we'll get a prediction going for all those gamblers in the chat. Very important that we satisfy that gambling addiction.
Meanwhile, Giyo's on 4 rods, and he's getting about 3 to 4 spawns. And for the next cycle, he probably will be out, because the rates have been bad so far, so the rates probably will pick up. Assuming that the rates are boosted, I don't really know how it works in a tournament. I'm pretty sure he just went 2 for 2, so now he has 6 rods, open spawner, crafting stone axe, 2 beds in his disposal, 3 bread, 5 cranberry. He's pretty set on food, maybe not for the rest of the run, but having that much food till you make it to the bastion, then you can start doing hunger resets with anchors or beds. You are pretty satisfied with the situation you have right now. Lucky enough for Dylqn, he's still in this game. He has the whole entire overworld and nether scouted. The only problem is that he doesn't know where the other spawner is scouted, and you'll have to deal with that really nasty, really bad spawner. It's open, filled with lava. So it's going to be very challenging for Dylqn to come back. He'll probably need Giyo to make some sort of mistake, or Dylqn just got to play very flawless from the rest of the time. Giyo arrives at the bastion. It looks like stables, if I know my bastions correctly, and I do. It is a stables. Finds the good gap. Punches the pig, which is totally fine.
Yep, a
You get more
bit scary. Gotta get those
but you're
piglins
totally
falling
chilling.
somehow, though. We've seen some players play really risky on the manhunt strats and just take way too many hits, but luckily here, Giyo is in control, has things managed, grabbing those gold blocks, and maybe grabbing a few more gold blocks down, buried below.
Does a really smart thing with the good gap. So he mines 1 block underneath him so that the piglins can auto funnel into the hole. And that makes it so that the piglins just get in the hole and he doesn't have to take any damage. It's something that not all runners do, but it's a strat that I think more and more runners should be accustomed to. 11 obsidian already, if I read that correctly. Could be the wrong block. But if that's 11 obsidian, he's definitely in the lead. 7 pearls, 7 rods, 2 beds. He's chilling on the string, on the explosives. There's his pearls. Got his obby. 12 obsidian, I think. If I was thinking of Giyo, though, I'd probably be trying to pre-craft some stuff. This is a tournament. 24 extra gold can easily pre-craft, a gold pick. Especially when you triangulate to a spawner and it's not ocean exposed, you have to mine sometimes 20 to 30 blocks, which could save 10 to 11 seconds. It isn't a lot, but a time save is a time save. Dylqn has abandoned the fortress this time, and he's actually going to go Bastion first. He didn't take that much food as he did last time, so he didn't take the extra hay bale. Hay bales are actually. He's just taken 4 bread, goes down. He'll probably find the good gap and then just do the normal good gap stables route. Or he's looking to do he's looking to find one of these triples or whatever they call it. Giyo is done as Bastion. 23 pearls, 7 rods, fire res, beds, 12 gold, obby. I think he got 20 obby as well, so he's on his way to do whatever double travel method he wants to do. The rates are definitely boosted from yesterday. I can just say that obsidian, the pearls, and the string, they are cranked up. Smartly sleeps for Giyo so that he can avoid the mob, so he can do his axis calculated method. So if we can calculate the angle right now, it's 78.6. So get your notepad, write that number down, 78.6. 1.5. And Giyo was doing axis 2 chunks, which is probably safer for a tournament, as your accuracy will increase because you're throwing it from a further distance away. 79.7. You do the math, 78.6, 79.7. That's a 1.1 difference for 2 chunks on a 1.5 difference. So from here, all you gotta do is look at your chart. There are other methods you can do where you gotta look at chart like perfect travel, which some prefer over others, but in tournament setting, you're not always guaranteed to make it in the stronghold.
Yeah, I mean, I like the safety strats. I like going for a bit of a safer triangulation. I think a lot more players, you know, are definitely moving towards that in most speed games, and I think Minecraft will be no exception. Even getting more rods than perhaps usual. We've seen some players get to the end portal and just not have enough eyes. And, you know, killing a couple more blazes does take some extra time, but, you know, you just ensure that you're not going to be, you know, screwed at the end of the run there.
So meanwhile, Giyo is calculating his course needs to be. Dylqn has breezed through the Bastion. I don't think he's grabbed 20 obby. He's just gonna high roll in the blind. He probably assumes that he's a bit behind, and he probably knows he's a bit behind because he did die already. And he died in the middle of the run. Well, not necessarily the middle, but he was in the middle of his blaze split. It was around 5-6 minutes, so that's all wasted. And he's just gonna full send, and he's just gonna try to do this as fast as he can. He did find the better spawner, so I expect him to do a high blaze bed, which exactly he's doing right now. You gotta try doing it as fast as you can and clear the fire so that in your next cycle, you have the max amount of spawns possible. So you see in that, he unfortunately didn't clear the fire as fast as possible, and he only got 1 blaze out of the possible 4. And that's mainly the reason, because fire and light was blocking all the spawn space possible. Giyo has found his cords, he's running towards them. Doesn't have the food to pearl around 5 sweet berries. That's not going to give you the saturation and the health to heal. There's just calmly running towards his cords. Is that 14 minutes? He's playing very clean, especially for a Fortress first run. And he has a very big lead, especially because he's about to double travel with cords known. Well, I don't think Dylqn has 20 obby. I could be wrong. I think I see 19.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch the obby count. Yeah, it is 19.
Yeah.
But I do like
19.
On Giyo's side when he was heading through the Nether looking for, you know, those coordinates to go into the portal. Did stop by the Bastion, checked a couple chests. There are food, you know, pork chops that spawn, and they are cooked in those stable chests. So some nice little extra stuff from Giyo there to try to make those pearl throws happen.
So Giyo has done his double travel. 122.9 was his first angle, and 119 or 118. I didn't really get the second angle. Something around that. Seems like it's 300 blocks, so he didn't really do his double travel as perfect or as good as he wanted to be. Obviously, just want to be in the stronghold. I do think it's around 100 to 200 blocks away, so he might have messed up somewhere. Maybe it was the calculations that he messed up. Usually with access calculated, you're about 50 to 100 blocks away, and I don't believe he's this close. I think he has another 100 to 200 blocks. I could be wrong though, because I just glanced and looked at the angle. And this could make Dylqn catch up if he just manages to high roll the blind. He's only got 20 obby. Dylqn does have the portal right near the fortress, so he could do educated, but that could be a bit slow, knowing that he knows he's a bit behind. It is a bit safer, but knowing the pace he is behind. Giyo has found the chunk. The eye always points to 8-8. When it turns around, you could visualize where the 8-8 is, the middle of the chunk, and you'll assume the chunk's there. And then you want to dig around 4-4 or 4-5, because that's where the staircase is. He's in the stronghold. Here's his nav. He's checking TL. Usually the stronghold, the portal room's TL. TL Busta. Yes. And there it is. TL Busta.
Oh, man.
You just say it's TL Busta, it's there. And he's taking a lot of damage. He does not have the food, so he's probably going to need a hunger reset, which exactly he's doing right now. Best way to hunger reset is just put in the bed and then blocking yourself off in the corner. But digging down here is not really the best way to do it, but it perfectly works. Got his beds. He has a string. He's going into the end portal. Dylqn is blinded, but it looks like it's a bit too late unless Giyo does manage to choke the 1 cycle, which would be very unfortunate because he's played a very clean game so far.
Yeah,
I think Giyo's just gonna try to high roll the perch because he doesn't have any arrows with him, and he should have definitely enough time. Even if he does get a dragon that rolls him, he should win this match technically, unless he gets very unlucky, which could happen.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan's definitely going for a YOLO blind here. Could potentially pop up in the portal room. I don't know if Dylan has a bow, though. So I'm not sure if that would even affect anything. Oh, it has to make another portal here. What the placement looks like.
I was worried for Giyo a bit because he only had 4 explosives. Sometimes that's not necessarily safe for a tourney, even though you can always 4 explosive a dragon, 4 explosive plus axe. Are always guaranteed to do that, but he does make an anchor, so now he has 5 explosives. He does have a stone axe. Should be fine. Probably drink the fire res because you don't really have any food. That's one key thing is when you don't have food and you do take fire damage from exploding the dragon, it could choke your run. So he does drink his fire res, and he doesn't have any armor on, so the pearl will take more damage, but he gets the purge, 5 explosives. He should take game 1 from a very clean match. Spread it was lovely. The dragon flips around, so it does cause a bit of anxiety.
Gonna have to axe it.
Will
I
we
don't
be
know.
able
This
to?
is
No.
pretty. Okay, we're good. We're good. I wasn't even worried.
All right. A bit of scare right there, but 5 bed explosive should be able to finish off the dragon, especially when you have an axe. Taking game 1 from a clean game. Not many mistakes. Not any mistakes actually.
Yeah, nailing the
Did
sub
what he had to
20
do to
in a
take that
race.
game.
You love to see it.
The unfortunate death. This is around 14, 13 minutes. Is triangulated. I did get a bit distracted from Giyo's gameplay. Taking carrots. A lot of people don't really do this, but at the beginning of the run, taking carrots can be a good alternative instead of wheat. Because if you get one of the bastions that have a lot of gold, like bridge, 7, 8 golden carrots is your whole entire run. That's for village optimizations at the beginning of a run, though. And game 1 is finished. Will Giyo 2-0 sweep this, or will Dylqn win the last 2? The commentary, we want a game 3, because game 3 gives the most suspense.
Yeah, I think everybody wants game 3. I'm not entirely sure what the chat has to think, but I would like to think so.
Speaking of having a break, this is the perfect time to do exclamation mark UAP this load exclamation mark UAP is the Urban Arts Partnership Program. The School of Interactive Arts is a multi-year college prep program which teaches students both the arts and technology of video game development, preparing them for degrees and career in tech. Exclamation mark UAP. It's a really good organization. Check out the links, show some support. We'll be heading to game 2 really, really fast. The seeds, I think, are in. They're just installing the data packs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed. I mean, the community was right about Sichi. Got so much vouching on Twitter. I mean, I didn't even mention UAP to Sichi. We already got the sponsor plug beating me to it. Insane commentary ability. We love to hear it. Appreciate you joining the booth today. Definitely couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you so much. To see Dylqn has entered his FOV. You can see there's an ocean to his right. You can assume that this is a shipwreck seed because I do not believe that seed finders will put out a mapless seed. Shipwreck seed. The other thing you can assume about the seed is that there could be a ruined portal on the shore. A lot of tournament seeds, they do have ruined portals, and there could also be a lava pool on the shore. So those are the 3 things you can probably assume. Just do your normal. You get 3 wood, you craft your wood axe, and probably front load because it's the tournament, so you don't really want to play risky. And I think for tournaments, if I was a tourney player, I would probably prefer. I don't even know if I would probably prefer a shipwreck seed because a lot of people are so used to doing hyper modern that the top runners would destroy my mechanics. Where something like village, if you know the small optimizations, and since a lot of runners don't really play it, I'd probably have more advantageous playing something that's not really seen by a lot. But it's a shipwreck seed, and Dylqn does a smart play of immediately mine wood and trying to use F5 to spot the shipwreck, while Giyo is just trying to spot the shipwreck first. So Dylqn, I don't think has seen the shipwreck, but I think Giyo has seen the shipwreck. I don't think both runners actually have seen the shipwreck. So seed is a bit strange to going around the islands trying to find shipwreck, and I think Dylqn has found it. Giyo also has found it, but it's right at shore, so I like this play from Giyo to, get the food, get the tools first, because if there happen to be more iron and gold than needed, like this, you can craft an iron axe, and you can actually mine your wood faster. Right now, Dylqn is mining his wood with a wood axe, even though the shipwreck is a swimming distance away from him.
Yeah, some little variation in strategies here. We'll see how things turn out, but it seems like Giyo having a little bit better decision making here right off the bat will be crucial. Oh, it looks like we've seen the another entry from Dylqn's side, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw a magma ravine there. So I don't think Giyo's seen that. We'll see if Giyo votes the right way.
Yep, the best way to spot magma ravines in RSG, you can actually pirate your magma ravine, which is really cool. You can pirate the kelp, but the best way is just put your hitboxes on and you'll see the kelp. Giyo leaves first because he managed to get his wood faster, and I believe he even got more wood than Dylqn, which just shows how using that iron axe for wood is much better than using a wood axe.
Yeah, and we're neck and neck here. Both mining for some flint. We'll see how things go. I know we had Feinberg yesterday memeing about standardizing flint drop rates because he mined like 21 flint or something, 30 flint before getting a single, or gravel, excuse me, before getting a single flint. But it looks like both players getting their flint reasonably quickly here.
This is pretty interesting. This is pretty interesting. Usually in tournament seeds, they try to give the best ravine possible. There's definitely an L shape guaranteed, but in this one, you had to do a 2x1 portal. Dylqn managed to find an L shape. Giyo had to do a 2x1 portal. Not many people know this, but the 2x1 portal was made by a speedrunner named Wilby, who's made a lot of other good strats, and it's a really fast portal. It can actually be just as fast as the L-shaped portal, but it's a bit harder to do. I think Giyo, you got a more favorable spawn. Bastion's right in front of his face. If I know my Bastions correctly, I was able to tell you this Bastion. I don't know my Bastions correctly, because I'm not a good runner. Unfortunate. Sad.
Not gonna lie, I cannot tell. Looks like it is treasure? No.
I think it's housing.
Yeah.
Yep. So Dylqn is doing manhunt housing over lava, which is a bit risky. He's gonna have to drop gold sword, while Giyo is doing a housing route that not many people do. It's called Kui's housing route. It's where it gets the backup blocks first, so that the piglins that are in the chest room can actually pathfind up the stairs, and you'll get more piglins than a normal top-down housing route. I believe for tournaments where you want to go for 20 obby, the Kui top-down housing route is better because you get your backup blocks first and you get more pigs, ultimately increasing your efficiency at the end so that you can get more pearls, more fire res. You might need to get a lot of anchors and glowstone for hunger resets. This is definitely the smarter play. In a housing route, you aren't really going to get that much pigs compared to a top-down Kui route. There are ways where you can grab pigs, but it looks like for today that the data pack is definitely really boosted. Runners already have all their obby, their pearls, their everything. I think Dylqn, he's already got 24 obby, so this is definitely a forced in CD pack compared to last time where it was there a pack at all.
Yeah, that is a really cool strat that I've not seen before. Very, very basic. I'm not sure how my brain didn't think of that before, but if you get stuck down with the pigman, just throwing a boat up and jumping in the boat. Like, I've literally lost runs just trying to break blocks and hitting a pigman. So these runners obviously knowing their stuff a little bit better than me. I know chat was memeing a bit about me calling it treasure. I will let chat know I only have a sub-hour in this category. I'm a beginner, okay? So be nice to me. Be nice, chat.
I think there are two ways you can probably get out of if you're stuck in the hole. Using gravel is maybe the most obvious way, and then using boat is definitely a faster way. Dylqn reaches the fortress spawner first, setting up the blaze bed, and he's gonna hit it. Will he able to clear out all the fire before the cycle spawns? Looks like he just missed it out again, so he only got 2 of the 4 possible. Meanwhile, Giyo actually pre-crafted a bed, and he might be able to blaze bed and get all the stuff first, but he's got to deal with the lava around here, so it's going to be a bit difficult. They're both at the same spawner, and Dylqn already dealt with the lava first. I think Giyo's trying to find a different spawner, and then the other spawner is probably going to be hard in a beer read situation, so you probably just got to stick with the spawner you have. Dylqn's definitely in the lead. Both have 20 obby, both have all the pearls they need in the world. Got all the fire res, all the string, spread, rotten flesh, everything. Everything you need to finish the run. I'm curious to see what kind of double travel strategy Dylqn is using. We've seen almost all the strategies. We've seen perfect travel from Minecraft. A lot of runners do axis calculated, and we've just seen people do the distance check, which is probably the least favorable strategy. We've not seen anyone do 2i perfect. That's a bit new, and I don't actually expect anyone to actually use it. The 2i perfect is basically perfect travel, but it counts for all the offsets, so you don't actually have to be perfect, and it's, in my opinion, it is the best double travel strategy. It's also the newest one. Dylqn's going to enter the overworld. He gets a good spawn. He doesn't spawn in a cave, which is good if you do one of the double travel methods where you have to be pretty precise. Finds a corner, and it looks like he's going to do axis calculated. We already know that Giyo does 2 chunk axis calculated, so Giyo's in the same spawn. And the angle is going to be 152.9, so get your notepads out. 152.9, that's the first angle you got to record. Same angle for Giyo. Dylqn's choosing to go up this mountain. Instead, you can go the way that Giyo's going, which would probably be better. So Giyo actually might get a faster axis calculated split, if that's even a thing.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen anybody do perfect travel except for Molly, and it didn't turn out too well for Molly. So,
Minecraft actually did perfect travel as well, and he actually hit the portal room.
Oh, really?
The problem with perfect travel, yeah, he did. The problem with perfect travel is you got to be perfect and precise. But there's this thing called 2i perfect travel. It accounts for all the offsets. And how perfect travel actually works is that the eye always leads to 8-8. But if you can get the exact pixel, that exact pixel will only have certain spots on the trajectory line that'll reach 8-8. But when you throw 2 eyes and you do 2i perfect, all those counts and all those offsets, you don't have to be perfect on the pixel. And it's the method that I've actually, like, I don't really do runs because, I don't know, I only practice, but it's the method I've been practicing, and I found out that it's probably the best method. It's pretty consistent with a lot of practice, though. So you gotta spend a lot of IRL time to get full time save, but it can definitely help you in a tournament, especially blinded in the starter staircase. You don't have to dig down. Dylqn's already done his blaze split. Have to gold pick to get to the coords he needs. Giyo does not actually have any extra gold pick, and they're probably going to the same coords. So I think Dylqn will definitely be in the lead. They both have like all their materials. They're not struggling or anything. Dylqn, he's built his second portal, and he sees the stronghold portal room right there. So he's gonna go in the end with a big advantage.
Oh man!
Entering all the eyes. This is a super fast post nether split. I don't think I saw him practicing. think he was practicing half bow, or it could be the wrong screen. It could have been Giyo, but he has arrows and he has string to make a bow. He's gonna make a bow.
I believe we saw one player skipping arrows, but it might have been Giyo. I thought it was Dylqn, but definitely seeing that bow on Dylqn's screen, which T-Wags be happy. Break some crystals here, gonna increase the perch rate.
Yep. He's doing half bow ground. I don't really know the statistics between each of the methods and which method is better. All I know is that when you tower on half bow, your shots are easier. So I don't really know which one's better. You just gotta hit the crystals and just wait. And just hope and pray. Giyo, he perfects, or I mean, he double travels into the stronghold staircase. So he's gonna have to do his triangulation. The portal room's actually exposed. So unfortunate for him. He didn't know it was exposed. He's also in an ocean, so he might get a lot of mobs too. Because in an ocean, all the mobs they fill the cap in the stronghold, and he doesn't have much food. So you'll probably see a lot of creepers and skeletons, spiders, zombies. They're all gonna pick up. There's the creeper.
Yeah, like we saw a creeper literally spawning inside the jail there.
Yep. And Dylqn actually gets his perch right now, so he shot the crystals and he waited. He'll take game 2 with the amount of beds that he has, and it's going to be GG for this. Really fast speed, 11:02, 11:03. When the timer ends, it's probably going to be like 11:11, 11:12. Super fast split from Dylqn, showing that when he plays consistent, he can probably be the faster runner. It's Minecraft, and anything can happen. And these both runners are really cracked, and it's on to game 3. The game that we all want to predict. We've seen Seed 1, we've seen Seed 2. Who's going to take Seed 3? Your predictions are all on the line, all in one game.
Yeah, the channel points, they're important. I can't think of a more important thing on the planet than GSA channel points.
I didn't bet this because I forgot. I forgot, so unfortunate for me. I've been farming these channel points, trying to flex right here. I have 10.1k all on predictions. That's a flex. 10.1k in predictions.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Can anyone flex higher? I don't think so. I think. Oh, see, someone had 11k, but see, I have 10.1k currently. I have 630. I have 160. I don't even see the thousands. I have 3. See, Doug's got 3.3. I got 3 times the amount of points in him, and I forgot I bet. Oh, it's at 33k. I read it wrong. Okay, that doesn't count. He doesn't count actually. He doesn't count. He's probably watched these streams for the past months. He's probably a yearly follower. He doesn't count at all. He's not part of this conversation. Mods, you can actually do your job and probably just time out just for the next couple minutes.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Yeah, his name's Doug the Pig. Yeah, he probably yeah.
Oh
Time out. Yeah,
God.
exactly. Yeah.
The mod abuse coming out from T-Wags is too much. It's only against Doug the Pig. I don't know if T-Wags has a certain grudge against Doug the Pig, but it seems to be
when you have a monthly farmer. It's like he probably has like a follow age of 3 years. A monthly farmer, 33k is not a lot. 10k for only like the past 3 days. I'm pretty impressed that 10k for the past 3 days on this trajectory. Like the next like month, I'll have like twice the many points as Doug the Pig. Okay, so both runners are gonna pause onto the 3rd seed. Ocean to the right, coast. There's a savannah to the left. There's a pretty big chance that there's going to be a village. That could be your seed. You can also have always a lava pool on the coast, and you can have a shipwreck to your right. So, if I was a runner, those are the 2 things I'm probably thinking of. I'm probably thinking it's either going to be a village run on my left or a shipwreck on my right. I'm more towards leaning that it's a shipwreck to the right because putting lava pools in savannah villages just as a seed tester, that's really hard because savannah villages usually has a lot of hills and it's actually a ruined portal. because you can see on both screens on the bottom left, and they're actually on the ruined portal. When it's a ruined portal seed, you want to think about how the seed finder structured the seed. They probably put obsidian so you can complete it, and they probably put a lighter, and they probably put 27 ingots. If they didn't put 27 ingots, there's probably a cave really nearby. I think that's kind of like what you're thinking of as a runner. It's like, how are the seed testers thinking of this? Because these are all tourney seeds, so they have things guaranteed for you, and that's the thing we gotta like kind of acknowledge.
Yeah, looks like got a little bit of a break. Runners taking a bathroom break here. Might as well take some time to plug UAP again, I think. I mean, sending kids to school, I mean, that's kind of important, right? I mean, college, kind of a good thing. Kind of useful.
Exclamation mark, UAP, this load. Exclamation UAP, it's a good cause. Check the link.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, we're going to be doing a fundraiser for UAP in the next couple of weeks, so that's pretty exciting. I'm excited to give back to UAP. They've been sponsoring a ton of GSA events, and, you know, it's a really good fit. I mean, sometimes, you know, we have sponsors coming in for, like, VPNs and, like, mobile games and stuff, but, you know, having a sponsor that's, you know, directly feeding back into the community, sending, you know, fellow gamers to school, very cool stuff. Very well caused, but it looks like both races are ready, so we'll get the countdown started and get back to the action.
Hopefully they wash their hands, because that's a really, really quick bathroom break. That's all I'm saying. There's a pandemic going on.
Yeah, wash skip, very, very clutch when you're in these situations.
Yeah, whoever had to go to the bathroom break probably speed run that break. Dylqn actually adjusted his FOV slider, so he put his FOV to Quake Pro, and he actually saw the bigger part of the ruined portal. It's pretty smart. There's a lot of things you can do in the pausing screen to gain like a little bit advantage, so that when the seed is not really reactions. It probably doesn't help at all, because it's whatever. But if you're thinking about advantage you can do without even playing, like adjusting your FOV slider, changing the pause screen so you can do F3 plus escape, that gives you more FOV as well. Actually, I think it gives you less FOV, but it blocks the stuff on the screen. There are things you can do, these little tiny strats.
Yeah, ultimately, it doesn't make too big of a difference. If you despawn and you see a ruined portal, you're pretty much going to head to that every time, see what's going on in the chest. But not too much action going on in that chest. Got some lighter action, some gold nuggets, golden axe, and some gold carrots, which are very useful, of course. Get that food source.
Giyo actually mined the chest, which I'm not really sure what he was doing there. If it's this 5-head monumental strat that Giyo knows and no one knows, that's crazy.
I will say
I think
Go ahead, sorry.
I think he was mining the chest to see if there was a buried treasure nearby, because the chest is an entity, which is pretty smart, actually.
That is pretty Galaxy Brain. I will spoiler, it's been mentioned before, the runners should know that there are no mapless seeds intended. I mean, maybe by some miracle we could potentially have that happen, but it's not an intended strategy in any of these seeds in the tournaments. So, sorry to let the chat down.
We did have a village, which I kind of think was expected. These chests do have a chance to spawn a bucket in this village, which is kind of neat. It's the one advantage of a village. The buckets can spawn. And you can see that none of them have any iron on them. And usually, I think the seeds, I'm not too confident. I think the seeds are supposed to guarantee like a lighter, an entry, an iron pick, and a bucket. I could be wrong, but watching all the seeds, they usually do guarantee it. So I would suspect that there's probably a bucket in one of the chests, and you're probably gonna have to kill the golem for the iron pick, or you can do pod strats or other strats like mine and iron. There was emeralds in the chest. Both runners did not take any of the emeralds. They probably will kill the golem.
Yeah, and I don't think we're finding a bucket here.
Looks like there wasn't a bucket in the chest, so the intended route was probably for you to do pod strats, but there's not a lot of hay bills Right, I didn't. Oh, actually, there is hay bales on Dylqn's screen, so there's not a lot of hay bales. I think the intended route was that you're supposed to take the 2 emeralds and then trade for the last emerald for a iron pick. But both runners are just gonna ignore the iron pick for now. You can definitely get iron in the bastion, and just gonna quickly enter the nether.
Yeah, done with a rather ominous iron golem striking sound. Not sure if that's a crit sound or specifically for the iron golem, but a little spooky. Cat getting a little bit scared. It's okay. Here for you, chat.
I don't have my sound volume on, so I actually didn't notice anything.
Yeah, you just kept talking.
Oh,
You didn't hear it.
I'm very sad.
I will say, I hope nobody has, like, if somebody goes out there and they have a data pack that just like ruins it for the rest of everybody, that would be really sad, because, you know, it's nice to have a little like individual flair on, but, you know, once people start putting like, I mean, I can think of plenty of things we could do where we'd have to make a rule about that, but hopefully not. I do enjoy the data pack variations.
So, Giyo spawns in the bastion, in the QB spot. I don't know what they call this. They call this bottom treasure, QB. I call it QB. I don't know what you're supposed to call it, but both runners did not have an iron pick, so they're gonna have to loot the chest. And treasure does not actually have a lot of chests. You can easily get rolled on the iron, and Giyo with 2 iron. I think both runners have 2 iron spares, but they only need 1 iron. But it's not guaranteed that you're gonna have the iron here. I don't think that loot in the chest was the intended route. And yeah, they did not get an iron, so you can easily trade for iron ingots or iron nuggets, and you can convert that to ingots. It's not a big deal. It's just gonna delay the time even more. So if you don't actually get any iron nuggets, I don't know what both runners are gonna do.
Yeah, that's definitely a good question. I mean, the portal is there. We can go back out to the overworld, but that's very slow. Hate to see it.
There are chests. Oh yeah, I think Giyo's gonna loot the bottom chest. There are chests in the QB section. There's a video that T-Legs put out how you can loot all the chests, and they're like structures or patterns you can see on the bottom layer. I think you look at the. I don't even know what you look at. QB is. A lot of people don't even route QB, but Giyo does find a chest, and he doesn't get any iron. It actually does seem like Todd Strat was the intended route with the 2 emeralds provided in the chest. It's not really what you expect as a tournament seed, but you just kind of got to play how the seed is dealt.
Yeah, what's Giyo's plan here? Oh, okay, we found some nuggets.
There is a lot of iron. I didn't get to see the enchantment on the diamond sword either. Is that looting? My question. Does anyone in chat know the chances of looting on the QB chest? There are a lot of big cubes here. I think it suits the name really well. That the spawner is a magma spawner, and they're cube shaped. And this is a cube kind of thing.
Giyo Valiant playing a very dangerous game here. Low on health, needs to get this gold out of his inventory. Unfortunately, taking the death here. Dylqn venturing in the fortress. Perhaps looking to loot some chests in the fortress.
Unfortunate for Giyo.
Did he already do all his trades? No, Dylqn's only done a couple of trades, right?
I think his goal is to try to find iron in the bad part of the fortress.
Okay.
Instead of looting bottom treasure, which is kind of dangerous, like Giyo did. He did take a quick death, but you can kind of treat that as a hunger reset as long as none of the items fall in the lava. I think some of his important items did fall in the lava. He does have his notch apple, which might be a good idea to drink it, or eat it.
Yeah.
You can drink notch apples, that'd kind of be OP.
I mean, we've got the iron in the inventory. Do we have any wood, though? I don't think we have any wood.
The notch apple does give fire res for
okay, no, we do have wood.
a certain amount of duration. You can also, with the notch apple, turn this into an AA run. All advancements at the very end. if any of the runners want to play it out.
Yeah, we could
Saying
be here for a few hours. That'd be fun.
got-
I mean, I'd be down.
you got to save that notch apple. But both runners use it because it is fire resistance. It's fire resistance because Dylqn was doing fortress first. Wait, Dylqn actually, I think you're right. I think Dylqn, he kind of just eye rolled on like 6 traits. And because the pack is so boosted, he gets 12 pearls out of it. 12 pearls, 14 rods. He has all his beds from his village.
Oh my
He essentially
gosh.
plays the run like classic, which he essentially plays the run like classic because he didn't mine any of the gold blocks. Out, he blinded. Maybe it was a good idea to probably do educated. But the reason why I said maybe it's a good idea to do educated is because he only has 12 eyes. He has no extra pearls.
Yeah, I mean, Giyo
So
got the same amount of high rolls as the pearls, so I mean, you can't really
you
lowell
got to
that
play
in
how
the chat.
the seed is. You got to play how the seed is dealt, and I think most of the runners kind of know that the data pack will probably be like ultra boosted or whatever name you want to give it, ultra juiced.
The data pack is quite literally called boosted, so I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory.
So classic could be a tournament strat in future seeds, which kind of sounds crazy, but that's because the pearls aren't really 4.5 or how many percent it is. Pearls are whatever the data pack says it is. He was playing definitely a safer route because his obby might have burned while he died in his quote unquote hunger reset. While Dylqn he has this really big lead. He's got all his rods, his pearls, and he just needs to triangulate. I didn't really see from his distance estimation how far away the stronghold is, but the strongholds don't really spawn in swamps. They do have a chance to. There's a certain heuristic if it does spawn in swamps, but the swamp got to be pretty big for it to do it. So the stronghold could be right here, or it could also be 1.5k blocks out. Chad is saying it's around 1k. He'll certainly make it to the stronghold first. The only question is will he have enough eyes? Because he has to at least throw, I would say, 2 eyes at least. If he did this right, probably 3-4 eyes he's gonna throw. He's already thrown 2. Eye breaks are 1 and 5. So if he does throw 3, then he's gonna get an eye break. They are 1 and 5. And if you do the math, and if it's a 0 eye, it might be a bit of trouble. Giyo does find the double spawner. And he'll easily be able to do the split. He's got fire res in his hotbar, he's got food, he's got a diamond sword. I don't think it's Luden, unfortunately. I didn't get to see it. Dylqn's just traveling towards his cords. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any pearls to check around, so this triangulation will be a bit slower, but both runners did not get any 20 obby, and it looks like Giyo will probably blind somewhere around where Dylqn blinded. So Giyo will have the same amount of distance, approximately, as Dylqn. And just watch out for the number, because he only has 12 eyes, he's already thrown 2, and I'm predicting he's going to at least have to throw 3 more. So that's just 30 he's throwing. Will it break? Does not break. I don't think the eyes are standardized, so he's doing another distance estimation check. I didn't get to see the angles. It's fairly close here, I think. I think it curved a lot.
The eyes are indeed standardized.
The eyes are standardized? Okay.
Yeah, they're the same for each player, but they're not the same every time. So, Dylqn now digging down. Will we find the stronghold here? I guess so.
I guess so. I think the angle changed a lot, where he can visualize where the 8-8 chunk is, and he can just send it on a 4-4 or 4-5 dig. So, did one of Dylqn's eyes break? My screen might have froze when that happened. Giyo has done his blaze split. It's pretty fast. He's getting mushrooms for mushroom stew. Dylqn found the starter staircase. I don't think TL Busta is an option, unfortunately. If it's not TL Busta, then every single corridor has an equal amount of chance.
Yeah, Giyo having a rough
Yeah.
time here. Unfortunately, still in the nether while Dylqn is navigating the fortress.
One thing is that Dylqn does need a one eye because one of the eyes did break.
Ooh.
But he's played the third seed very smooth. Nothing too wrong has happened. He didn't get an iron pick because unfortunately that's how the seed was dealt. The boosted pack was boosted. It could also be pearls in the chests. And let's see if it's a one eye.
Oh, it's a 2-eye.
It's a 2-eye. So looks like Dylqn will take the seed as long as he does not screw the one cycle up. He has plenty of beds, it looks like. Looks like he's got 4 colorful beds on the top of his hotbar, 9 wool, plenty of wood, crafting table, food, everything he needs. Got armor on. He's got obby. He's ready to win the seed. He's even got a crossbow to do half bow strats too. As long as there's no choke, Dylqn takes third seed and moves on to the next round.
And needs to have a good Ender Dragon fight, but it is looking like Dylqn's game to win here. He needs to hold things together. Taking out those crystals is going to help out quite a bit. Definitely not going to get rolled by the RNG here because of that.
He's doing half bow ground, which the aim is a bit harder, but it looks like he's hitting a lot of his shots, and he's going to chuck his crossbow away and just wait for the perch. Or he's going to try to shoot this one on top of the one to his right. Yeah. So, as long as he does not choke, Giyo has blinded, somewhere around where Dylqn blind, like I predicted. So he's going to be around 1k blocks away. He does not have enough time to make it before Dylqn gets the perch. Even if Dylqn gets rolled, it's really impossible for Giyo to make it. Oh, the game is all up in Dylqn. There is 7 beds and an axe. You don't choke this.
Yeah, with a bunch of the crystals down too. I mean, it's hard to imagine a world where Dylqn manages to throw this one. I mean, unless literally detonating a bed on his feet, but looks like the dragon perching here.
2 beds are really fantastic. 3rd bed's good. Looks like it's going to be a 4+1. And he takes 3rd seed, winning this round against Giyo, and he'll be on to the next round. Incredible job from both runners. They're really cracked, both with amazing PBs, and Dylqn's the one who takes this today.
Yeah,
GG, well played.
Knocking Giyo out of the tournament. Unfortunate for the Giyo fans in the chat, but one gamer must move on. See if we can get him in for an interview here.
So, looks like the pack is definitely opposite from what was yesterday. I think yesterday there were a couple of seeds where some of the items may not have been given. I think sometimes it was obsidian, sometimes it was pearls, sometimes it was beds. This time, all of them looks like consecutive trades, just back to back. You're not really getting the junk trades like quartz. You're not getting the junk trades. You're getting the ones that you need. And Dylqn kind of recognized that from his first couple of trades in the 3rd seed. Recognized that he had enough pearl, he had enough obsidian, and he can just blind and triangulate, and it's not even worth to get an iron pick. So very smart play from Dylqn. Play the seed how it was dealt, and he manages to take that seed. Kind of play like a classic too, which is really interesting.
Looks like neither runner, unfortunately, going to be able to stay for an interview. So we're going to have to wrap things up here, which is fine. I think we're running a little bit behind schedule anyways. All you Minecraft fans in the chat, do stick around. We will be having 2 more matches later. We got Curryway and Des the Elite coming up after the next match. And we also got Brainx versus Dylqn later on. For now, though, we are going to go to a little bit of a game break. We're going to be watching some Jack and Daxter qualifiers for the No LTS tournaments. Any outrageous Josh supporters in the chats. I don't know if you watch any Jack and Daxter, but I know we have a lot of Josh supporters. Not in this match, but we'll be probably hanging out in the chat, so do stick around. We will be back in about 10 or so minutes with the next matchup, so I will see you guys there. Thank you for being on comms, by the way. You did a great job, CJ.
Thank you for having me.